Hello from Sedelnikova. This is a podcast Pigeon of Peace where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooters. Watch, listen, and check the description below for the details. Let's talk about virtual reality and let's start with the definition.
Virtual reality is another kind of universe which is built just in electronic form and exists forever. This is not a game you could enter or quit anytime. This exists without your vision or knowledge of it, and it could stand even if a lot of people are out. Virtual reality is a new kind of society. Right now, we speak or record our podcast via Zoom, so we sit in different cities and a lot of kilometers one from another, but we could make the same in virtual reality. I would wear special glasses, Maxim would make the same, and then we will upload the special entry point, so-called teleport, and then we will see everyone or each other in this virtual reality. What is the difference? Right now, I see the monitor, and this is quite a limited size. But when we will be in those glasses, we will see everything. So we will see birds in the sky, we will see stone on the island, and we will see remote bridges and mountains. We could even touch something, we could even walk, and while we walk, picture would change. While we, for example, dive in the water, we will see the fishes and octopuses and so on. So virtual reality, it's almost reality, but made by computer and is given to our eyes directly.
Well, we probably may want to look in some sort of like a historical aspect, like since which moment or, what kind of ideas brought this entire concept to life, since when the human actually realized that, they could create maybe alternative world, whatever it is, so that they can live there, or maybe do some sort of like a modeling so that real world stay intact.
You use quite a good sentence. Yes, when we use our augmented reality, we see everything which exists, but with addition of some layers. For example, navigation or maybe some other stuff. But when we go to the virtual reality, our usual reality or ordinary would be replaced by the virtual one. And if we will go to evolution, how we come to this, let's talk about like 30 years ago. It was the games which was written just in the command line. Okay, Maxim, you enter deep cave. Would you go straight, right, or left? And you will choose 1, 2, or 3, or A, B, C, and then you will be given another sentence and you will make another choice. More choices, more steps. Then it becomes like some kind games offered us abyss and labyrinths, and we were going and we could see our enemies shot with guns and operate with knife and so on. But the screens were quite narrow, like 14 inches or something like this. Then it became a time for very familiar to the life games like one person game when you are going and you see just your hands, not you see your hero from above, but you see your hands and you operate with knife and you shoot the machine gun. Then we wanted to make it more involving, and we start to using steering wheels and also brakes for car games. Then we start to use sometimes even some kind of cutted sniper rifle just to see what is going on, and when you push the trigger you will maybe kill your enemy. And then it became time for new kind of glasses, or even I don't know how, helmet of the virtual reality. First of them were quite hard to wear. It was very heavy and you have special weight on your neck and you will be tired after, I don't know, like 40 minutes. And by the way, it would have so thick wire that sometimes you do not wish to move your game, do not move your head because it is too heavy. By the way, the same was with mice. First mice were having such a hard wire that you will put the mice and it will go without you. And then it became time when you could just in special frame put your usual smartphone and see whatever you want.
Well, when we're actually getting immersed there, there probably should be, I would say, like a different dimensions. Obviously, the first one is like a visual. Basically, the world is a different, and like we may want to find ourselves by, for example, being a dragon or maybe fighting knights. But then, what other dimensions we also may consider? For example, like something could affect our, I would say, like a nose, or maybe like we would hear something, and the moment we move our ears, so the moving of the virtual object also will be imitated. Or maybe it could be something else, like something could also appeal to our different feelings. Like, for example, I don't know, we probably would feel like a hungry, or like it could be some sort of like a cold. What kind of things could be potentially emulated when we entering to a different world, and how, like, what will be the technical support for these things to actually get us involved?
If you will go with your son to the planetarium, which I wish you to do, so you will enter the small area where you could see a white I don't know how to say dome, купол,
It's dome, yes.
white dome, and you will be sitting in special chairs, and while when film will be started, you will push back and you will see everything on the quite a huge sphere or semisphere, and then you will see, for example, volcanoes or school of fishes or planets or like meteorites and something like this. Or another one place, or also worth to go, it would be Museum of Tolerance. When you will be there, it would be like cinema. It's so-called 5D cinemas, and you will see not just 3D like in the vision, but you also will feel a very strange effects. For example, it would be rain. It would be small dispersed water. It's okay to say small dispersed.
Dispersed, yes.
Thank you. Smells dispersed water. And sometimes you will be even bitten by mosquitoes. And you know how it would be done? With small holes with very powerful pressure of the air. And then, for example, you should go to some other place, Salou, Park Aventura, it's in Spain, or somewhere else. Then you will also be in so-called 6D cinema. What will happen? Your bench consists of 3 to 4 chairs, and it also would be sometime going up, going down, making like quake or earthquake, and sometime it will be rotating in different directions. For example, you will be watching the movie and you will imagine yourself as a dolphin. And as a dolphin, suddenly you will go up and it will be together with your chair. Then you will go some point, and then you will be swifted down and you will be accelerated, and then when you will hit to the water you will be given splash of this liquid, and after watching, I don't know, like for 20 seconds you will fear the exact shark which is going from the right. You will afraid of the, I don't know how to say, this kind of wind корабля, propeller of the ship,
Propeller.
propeller of the ship. So you will go in some caves, in some labyrinths, you will find some mussels, you will see some jewels and so on. And you will become so happy as a child.
And sometimes it's also could be used for, I would say, like a scientific purposes, or maybe some sort of like a educational purposes. So for example, let's say if we are the person who never will be on Everest, but at least, like we could get to the 3D version of that, and maybe, like at least try to get the feeling, how does it feel? And maybe there is also will be emulation of the, I would say, scarce weather, or, like not sufficient air. Or, for example, if you want to try ourselves being diving into very deep, like let's say Marian abyss. So this is also could be emulated. Whether there is a room to, like to get to model some events and see it as a human, like really inside. Maybe we can also even stop, fast forward, or revert back to, so that we can see something in the very close thing, and it's something will be that we would never experience as a human.
You know, when you started to talk about Everest, I got a flashback. Yesterday, I got got a talk about the Everest, and I was trying to say to the person never to go there because I have been there 3 times, and it is expensive, very dangerous, and it is not worth. And first, I thought that you will see not the clean mountain, but you will see a lot of dirt, and you will see those very famous green boots of the Indian alpinist who is died there. But if you want, it's much better to be there in virtual way than in real way, because in real way it is very heavy, it is very cold, it is very sweet, and it is not sweat.
Sweaty. Yeah.
It is sweaty, and it is very изнеможденный. How to say? Devastated.
Tired. Devastated is good. Yeah, is better, way better.
You'll be devastated. And you know, you have no place to rest. It is very hard to sleep. It is very hard to eat. Your teeth will be bleeding. Your joints would harm, and your neck would always wanted to rotate because you have no comfort position. And for example, you could go to jet fighters training school, and then you will be not given just helmet with those special view from the first for the first person, but also you will wear a special costume, and this costume is inflatable. And sometime when you will go in turn, for example, you will be feeling that some, I don't know how to say, like подушечки, отсеки, вот как на одном матрасе.
Maybe sectors or
Yes, correct.
parts.
Sectors or parts would be inflated or deflated, and you will feel real pain. And sometimes it will be even better. There are some combat suits, and when you're playing virtual games, you will have special parts, and those parts has ability to struck you. So if someone with rifle would point and pull the trigger, on your costume, some part or segments would react, and you will hit very hard. I have been in such a suit one times, and for a very first second, when I tried to go to the playground, I was hit, and it was so hard. First thing was maybe it was a stone, and I was trying to look at myself, and suddenly I got a shrapnel of me, like I don't know, like 20 virtual bullets, but it was quite hard. Not with bruises, but it's quite feeling.
Okay, and then for my next question, I will try to, like do a trick and try to combine two of them, but let's see how it goes. So a virtual reality and work, like whether it's in any way will modify the way we work, the way we present things, the way we even meet to each other. And maybe for the second part of it, in order to make it more or less immersive, make it more or less, I would say like a useful. So for example, let's say if you want to build an app, what we need to do is just like put a couple of bricks in the virtual reality because everything is already, like was done for us. So is there a room to make it like 100% immersive, and is there a room to move our work to the virtual reality?
I will tell you one story which is sad for me, but quite picturesque. I was working with Intel Corporation, and it was like 30 years ago, exact 30 years ago, and I was in huge hangar, and above on the ceiling it were a lot of filming projectors, and they will show me roads, tracks, дорожки процессора,
Uh,
CPU tracks.
tracks is good.
CPU tracks. So I was going, and I'm as an engineer, I could imagine how the data control and result will go by these tracks. And it's take me like in total 6 weeks. And after those 6 weeks, suddenly all the night in my dream, I was seeing the same. We have already managed to find and corrected this mistake, and everything was done perfect. And I was given money, but something was broken in my psychology. And when my colleagues known about those, they give me 24 days off. I was going to Turkey without computer, without keyboard, and this rest was so long for me. that I even forgot all passwords which I know, and even now I just wait. Maybe someday I will remember those passwords because there are a lot of archives which made by me. Maybe that not valuable, but they are quite demonstrative for school of troubleshooter purposes. But anyway, so it is quite easy to enter virtual reality, but it is quite hard to get off it. This first. Second, even now in our dentistry with my wife, we have some already scanners. For example, previously we will give you a special form in your mouth and you will press your teeth and then you will stay for a while and we will take it out. And this would be like a models. And for example, if we want to make aligners, we would put special plastic on it and then heat it, for example, by hairdresser, and it will make these aligners. Okay, this goes quite hard away, but anyway, it's quite like easy explanation. But right now we have special pen, and it will be going through your thesis, and it will completely close to you in on a screen on the notebook, create model of to your jaws, and it will show when if you have plaque, if you have stones, if you have покраснение,
Mm,
redness,
redness or inflammation.
inflammation. Yes, thank you. It's much better, and so on. And you know, this technique is so new that a lot of written there in Chinese. So we just translate it word by word. But you know, when I will show you intraoral camera and you will see your tooth on the screen, it is not pleasant to see because there is saliva, there are some remains of the food. But if you will see this in virtual, your teeth has right form, right shape, but they are quite sexual looking. So it is quite easier to see. You will be not disgusted. And you know what's funny? When I will, as a doctor, say you that you need to cure some tooth, you will say, okay, maybe doctor is want to earn his money. But if it will be pronounced by avatar, okay, Maxim, you need to do this, and this, and then you will be given special report on 18 pages in MS Word or PDF, which will be sent directly to your email. You will believe it. So this is machine work, not a human.
Well, yeah, I think the funny part is about like a third independent opinion. And I probably will use one of your phrases saying like it's actually hard to get out of the virtual reality. And the next question is more like a provocative or maybe like a dangerous or whatever. But is there any way that like we as a humans, because like life will be so scarce, there won't be a lot of resources, but if we will learn how to affect a certain part of our brain, how to actually get the pleasure of like visual feelings or anything else, will it be the case that all of us will just get our capsules and we'll get everything moving on just in front of our eyes? We'll be like standing there and maybe do like a minimum movement during the day, but like we'll be completely moved to the virtual reality, while on controversy there will be a group of people, again like putting a bit of like a conspiracy mark here, there will be a group of people who actually would benefit from more or less controllable crowd.
Yes, you're quite right. And I will give you several examples. When I was working in Japan, it was quite a strange thing, but several my colleagues, they were young one and old one, but they have something in common. They were minimalist and they were trying to take in the possession just 27 items and another one 33, including t-shirts, trousers, socks, and ball and sticks and so on. And it was for me like a crazy house. And they were dreaming. Sometime we will have special way, and for example, instead of those walls, you will see the screens, and I will live whenever I want. I have a friend of mine who live close to the Moscow. He created. I saw this for second time, but I think that it is quite common. He created is in his, I don't know how to say, steaming room. It's okay in his sauna steaming room.
Steaming room, sauna
You
is
know,
also good.
sauna. He created such a like a coupe of the carriage. It's okay to say? Железнодорожное купе вагона.
Yeah,
Coupe
coupe
of the
of
carriage.
the train carriage.
Of the train car, yes. And you know, it is quite strange. There are exact these benches you will see even the smell because it is real one. But instead of window on the wall, there is a screen and it is recorded several movies. Winter without snow, winter with snow, rain, and sunny shy day, like you go from the Moscow to St. Petersburg. So you sit just in imitation of this, and you see even what you will see if you will exactly go like 2, 3, or 5 years ago on the real railway. This first. Second, I have a friend of mine. He is in Kiev, and he was head of security of one company which belongs to Alpha Group, and he bought for like $30,000, like 15 years ago, a cockpit of the jet fighter and join special club which located somewhere in the USA, and you could wear a real helmet, you could buy money, and you will be led by dispatcher on the pension in real journey by your plane. And it could be nautical mission, and for example you will go to the plane carrier. It's okay to say авианосец?
Plane carrier, yes.
Plane carrier. It is, by the way, it is very hard to sit there, to stop. And second, you could go and, for example, you will bomb something in the real countries by on the maps which were actual 20 years ago, or you could ask and you could go like a real plane with passenger from one realistic airport to another one. And you know, when I was close to him, I was thinking, what a madman. But then he told me, okay, you could have another helmet sit above me. And we were sitting, and you know, he is speaking much worse than me in English, but we were led by maybe some Indian guys or something like this. And you know, when we sit on these helmets and these headphones and we have this all buttons and this arrows and all of this equipment, you know, it was at very first point very looking dangerous and astonishing. But then I hear calm voice. Come on, are you ready to go? Take off or land off, something like this. And suddenly we are already in the air. And I look in this helmet and I see the sun and I see the ocean and I see the head of my person, which I couldn't see because it's special screen. So everything is imitated. And you know, quality was very low, like 80 for 60. So it's very low quality. But after some period of time, your eyes would be adjusted, your ears would be adjusted, and it is like real. So when you even point your hand to something, you will see not your hand, but as your hand in the glove, and you doing something very confident.
Well, and we actually reviewed all the possibilities of the virtual reality and how it could be helpful for you if you use it right. So stay in peace.